dealing with the prevalence of substance use among University of Nigeria students and athletes. You have 10 minutes and it begins now.
Good morning, the chairman. Good morning, the secretary of the team. Good morning, my colleagues. Okechukwu Kingsley Ofoka from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and I'm here to present a paper on prevalence and etiology of substance use among University of Nigeria student athletes. So, in the University of Nigeria, the University of Nigeria is in southeast part of the country, and in this place, some studies have shown that there has been cases of substance use among young people. So that excited our interest to find out if this substance use is also prevalent among the University of Nigeria student athletes. So we observed that substance use is a health-threatening behavior and it's also a public health issue. The World Health Organization estimated in 2014 that 2 billion people consume alcoholic beverages. And also, another study showed that 38% of people who are aged 15 to 28 in West Africa use drugs for athletic performance. So, those are the things, like I said, that incited us to conduct this study. So, we defined substance abuse. Substance use, according to WHO, is a harmful or hazardous use of psychoactive substances, including alcohol and illicit drugs. It is a pattern of harmful use of any substance for mood-altering purposes. And also, these athletes sometimes use these substances to improve their performance. So we want to find out the prevalence and also the reasons for their use of substances. So this study is a cross-sectional, adopted a cross-sectional survey design, and also the area of the study was the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The population of the study included all undergraduate student athletes of the university, and the instrument for data collection was the Researcher Structured Instrument Questionnaire, and we titled it Prevalence and Etiology of Substance Use Questionnaire, PISA. This questionnaire has 3 sections, A, B, and C. And also we conducted the validity of this instrument as well as its reliability. And then for the data analysis, we used SPSS version 24, and then we used frequencies and percentages as well as chi-square to run our analysis. So our results show that 39.4% of these student athletes engage in substance use. Also, our results show that more than half of these athletes, which represent 51%, take these substances in a bid to improve their performance. So, in the end, also our hypothesis we tested showed that there is no significant difference in substance use, in the etiology of substance use, that's using these athletes use substance use. There is no significant difference based on years of athletic experience and based on gender. So, in conclusion, we said that although a 39.4% prevalence is not so much, but there is also need for coaches and sports administrators to continue to sensitize these athletes on the harmful effects of substance abuse. So this will help deter them from engaging in the use of substances. So our study had some lapses, in the sense that we used questionnaire to collect our data, but we are of the opinion that focus group discussion and interviews might be better in eliciting information from these athletes. So we recommended that there should be sensitization, continuous sensitization for the athletes and of course the university students on the need to stay off substance use. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for me? Anybody? Yes, I will. What's your name?
My name is Taiwo.
Okay.
So, thank you, presenter. So I just want to, there have been a lot of research on athletes and use of, especially among university athletes. So I want the first thing we did not mention the process of your, because we need to know of your sampling. It's very important that you know probably is in your sampling, and also in your conclusion. There have been a lot of work. 3 years ago, I worked on doping and doping practice and one college athlete in Lagos. And we should have probably reach your conclusion, probably compare your results with previous studies in other universities so that you can draw a conclusion. Because with 31%, you are not so sure if the prevalence is not high or not, until you get the score from other studies. You cannot compare before we can now make our conclusion. Okay, this thing is even 31 is high. As 31 point something is high. So that's just my own conclusion. Sorry, my contribution.
Can I note here? Next, any other question for you? Yeah.
Obviously, we can write paper together. If during the presentation we see one thing or the other that was not captured, it's just to make the paper better for publication because of our association. So it's not because we are part of the paper, we cannot criticize it at the end of the day. That is why we go for critique of papers. You can be giving your personal paper, at the end of the day you find that I would have done this and not this. Please let's improve it because of our association. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mine is not of the question, but a general overview of the paper. I think starting from the abstract, I think ought to have been italicized. The abstract ought to have been italicized. And it ought to have been on a separate paper, on a separate page rather. You get that?
Yes,
And two, your work is not paged. So that one is something. So for us to now be talking about page 1, page 2, now it becomes difficult. And another thing I still see about the work, I think you still need to do some. How will I put it? Your use of words, like on the data population of the study. Your use of University of Nigeria on Nsukka, your university is in small letter, which ought to be in capital letter. So such expressions may send a wrong message about what you are really talking about or what is being expressed there. I think that is for now.
Thank you. Any other? Exercise and sport science group. Okay. Can you respond then?
Thank you very much.
Okay. I will just fill the paper for now. This is your table 2. Is what you use to assess who has used drugs or not. Is it not? The question is this. If you actually a drug user, somebody is asking you to answer, have you used substance? Table 2. Proportion of substance use among University of Nigeria Nsukka athletes based on age. I saw the questionnaire items. Do you take tramadol? Do you take alcohol? Do you engage in illegal activity during your games? Have you used other substances? Question I'm asking, what's the validity of this questionnaire based on the fact that if you are actually a drug user, will you accept to?
Sir, may I add to what about the questionnaire or that in your table? When I went through it, I don't see that the questions they are clumsy, and two, they like if you talk about substance abuse, you can choose to differentiate them. If it is that of hard drugs or tablets, if it is not that of alcohol, then you have different products of alcohol, like all these bitters. Some people still use them for performance enhancements. Then talk about this adhesive and this gum. Some people sniff them to enhance performances. Those you can separate them to be of liquid or solutions, then those of tablets. And then if you do that, you cannot get more fat under them that will enrich the work, instead of like that of tramadol, that of alcohol. If you not really want to analyze them further, you see that it will not marry. But if you now talk about tramadol as a tablet, you now mention other tablets in relation to tramadol, you see that your work will be okay and better than this.
All right? Yes, sir.
So in addendum to what Prof said, I think the best way you can to enrich, also to take advantage, to address what he has actually, you can just put it in your limitation that it is self-reported, so that we will know that that is what the athletes in your field, that's what the athletes report. So we will be so sure that we are not. So when I'm reading it, I'm very careful. I will put in mind that the athlete may not be. To put it in mind, I will not just take the results holistically. And also, when you mention etiology in the topic, then probably due to I've not seen the paper, but if you want to present that, you don't actually explore that side of the paper. Because when you talk about the etiology, we want to go to the causes. There are a lot of reasons athletes take substance apart from performance. In fact, in my own research, I discovered that performance was the third reasons. Many of them they take it just like they don't really intend to use to for performance, but because they just take it, especially the all these herbal bitters, this sachet, that is the most among athletes now. That is the most abused because it is very cheap and also give them same it's as potent as any other expensive hard drug. So they see it as, and some of them they have different names that they call it. I did a lot of this baby upu and all these funny names, and you see them put it in their pocket, just take one, take it, they are okay for they are. So we cannot first of all we can categorize some of the medical reasons. Some of them take it just to relieve pain after serious training. Some of them abuse tramadol for pain relief, and some of them will be so surprised that it's not even for performance, it is just for sexual performance. That's why they are taking it. So there are a lot of sociological, psychological, medical reasons why athletes take abuse substance. So if you want to look at the etiology, probably you may have to group them into this. That, okay, this is why this. So we can announce, because that is the implication for counsel. If you want to counsel, we must know the area we want to enter the angle. That, okay, this is where the major issue is. So that, I think those one this will enrich. This is a very good paper. We need to, so that when anybody that's reading from outside here will know that they have done a good work. Thank you.
Why I have a question, I know that there are some like questionnaires for using drug use and abuse like that. There are many of them. You have a reference point. One of the references, European Monitoring Center for Drug, has a standardized instrument. You have a standardized instrument to measure drug use. Why did you use it? Why did you decide to use your own that you created yourself? Use the European Center have indicators. And when you answer that question, if you're a drug user, you answer it without, you cannot cheat it. That's how it is.
Okay. Can you respond?
I think there are more comments than questions.
Yeah, just respond.
The first question was on population and sampling. We used their population because they were manageable, and according to different sources like one app, when the population is manageable, you can just, so we did that. So we used the entire, let's say 190 people of them.
The size is small enough.
Then also on, you said something about comparing.
Table 2 was the next one.
Okay, that on table 2 is also about whether we can get good enough information from what you said. That's why I pointed out that future studies would use interviews or to not group discussion, maybe to give better.
I mean, there are standardized questions.
But you have also mentioned that there are certain questionnaires which now trumps what we think interviews and focus group will do. So we must go back to that.
The next one is why not separate the word drug abuse so that people can know exactly where to help in the counseling?
Yes, I noted that the correction we have to go back to. We have to now categorize the reasons why people use these drugs according to medical, psychological, social reasons.
The next one, if I get him right again, that the etiological aspect of the paper is not properly treated here. Let's go back to it. I took all the information because I will give it back to them. During your correction, they will now use this for the correction.
Well, let me say, listening to you, it's a good effort, but you need to be a bit. You see, when you look at prevalence is a word. It would have just been prevalence of substance use among University of Nigeria, that would have been okay. But when you added the word etiology, and you had not done anything that is etiological, I would wish that you look at that. And don't forget, when you are doing a study that relates to drug use, it is when you ask direct questions, you're not going to get answers. You won't get answers. Okay? And don't forget that just as how it has been contributed, that the society is promoting some of these things. And if you look at it, basically, it is the pressure to win. The pressure to win, the pressure to be recognized, the pressure to get fame. And because of that, you can do just anything. And you know that even in the coaching field, the pressure to win at all costs. So these are all issues that would help promote the prevalence of these things. And I wish that you look at some of these things a bit more carefully, and then you can use your focus group. That would have been much better than using this question. And this one would have been just to find out the prevalence. Then the etiology will now concentrate on using focus group discussion in order to arrive at that, because it's a sensitive study. Nobody that instrument, as Prof has said, that would have been the best way to look at it, so that it shields it, and your understanding of that standard questionnaire that would have been the basis for which you can now understand what it is. All right? So thank you very much. Well done. This is how the things are. So next, Taiwo. Go. Taiwo. And you will start on effects of 8-week whole body vibration exercise. Effect of 8-week whole body vibration exercise on musculoskeletal fitness among young adults in Lagos State. So, over to you.
Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon. My name is Taiwo TONUKARI from Lagos State. Standing on the existing protocol, the title of my paper is Effect of 8-week whole body vibration exercise on musculoskeletal fitness of young adults in Lagos State. It is a known fact, it has been established, that exercise is potent for most diseases, or for most cardiovascular diseases, and also for movements and the muscles and all other this is associated with movement. That exercise enhance musculoskeletal fitness. Musculoskeletal fitness is the efficiency of the muscular, the muscular group and the skeletal group to work efficiently to provide movement or physical activities. But the problem and the knowledge gap that this research is feeling is that yes, exercise has been proven to so discipline to adhere to this exercise prescription. That is where the problem is, because of the nature of the work, due to work stress, urbanization, and so many others. People don't even have that time to go through the normal exercise regime that you prescribe to them. So that is where this the whole body vibration exercise comes in. Whole body vibration exercise is an emerging exercise protocol that involves standing on a vibrating device that provides the same, almost the same muscular contraction as when you are doing a normal aerobic exercise. So, having done that, so the study wants to, you cannot assume, so it has been stated that all body exercise provide almost similar result as a normal exercise, but we need to check if this whole body exercise can also help athletes and also those who have musculoskeletal problems, if it can improve musculoskeletal problems. So it involves randomly choosing 20 young adults that are apparently healthy for this study. They were put into, we have the pre-test and the post-test. During the pre-test period, what we do for the musculoskeletal fitness, we use the flexibility and on the vibration machine, we test the body call. We use the static and dynamic exercise on the vibration platform to see if it will improve their flexibility and muscular strength. So the subject went through 8 weeks of exercise on this exercise platform 3 times in a week for at least 30 minutes. For at least 30 minutes, 3 times in a week for a duration of 8 weeks. So before the commencement of the intervention, the muscular strength was measured, was determined, and also the flexibility was also determined. Then after the 8 weeks exercise, we also do what we call the post-test. We measure the flexibility and also the muscular strength. So the result of the study after 8 weeks, so according to the table 1 that we have here, we look at the mean for the experimental group and the control group. So the mean flexibility and the mean for the control group, they were not placed on the vibrating platform. So but they maintain normal exercise, just warm up and cool down exercise like every other subject. The experimental group that we have put on the vibrating platform. So the result of this study suggests that 8 weeks exercise has effects on both flexibility and muscular strength of young adults. This suggests that we can use whole body vibration exercise to improve flexibility and also the muscular strength. Thank you.
Questions? What is the name of your design, research design? What do you call it design?
In design, we use randomized design because we decide to also look at the control group.
What is the name of your research design?
Sir, I said it is a randomized experimental design.
We don't have randomized experimental design. That's what I want to Nothing. Better. You understand me? You can use partial experimental design. Okay? You can use pre-test, post-test with control group. All right? These are, you see, in research, it's like a language. You know, standardize. Once you don't even understand what you are saying, that's why I'm just taking you on straight on your design, your research design. Okay? Use what is known. Okay? That will go a long way to help you, because by the time it goes for assessment, you know, the person is just going to look at it. This is the design you said. By knowledge, this design does not exist. So, what have you done? Do you understand? I want you to be, and doctor should help you, Adeogu should help you. You understand? We understand that some of you are our students, and some of us are colleagues. But in the process of grooming you, do the right thing. Always find out. Use of quasi experimental is still okay. You can use this. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any other question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Just a small question. You said this vibratory exercise has a kind of affected a positive effect on muscular strength and flexibility. The question is this: what mechanism of action do you think that vibration could have caused to effect this? Because to my knowledge or to my understanding, the vibratory machine is non-participatory. It's some passive form of exercise. You are not the one exercising. And I know that most of the adaptations to any exercise is because you are forcing the muscles to work. This muscle at this time is like somebody massaging you. What mechanism of action do you think will have been responsible for this, your response? I look through. This is what I was just looking at.
It now be on the individual, so that you sure.
No, he has already performed this experiment. It's come out with results. What I'm asking now, what do you think will have been responsible for this result you have found? You must have some literature justification
Just
for
like
it.
it has been explained in the discussion, it has been, literature has proven that whole body vibration, the machine, it has an effect, and that is why we have two types of exercise that we have. We can be passive, just standing on the vibrating machine and allow the vibration to. And also there are some that you have the dynamic, that you have to move in that in certain position, depending on the area of the body we want the effect to. Can be squatting, can be bending, and I'm not saying machines which are movements, and it also impacts the areas.
I thought this was just purely static.
So I said it's static and dynamic.
For both the experimental group, or you have a group?
No, for the experimental group, the control group were not placed on the machine at all.
That's because I expected to see that so number of periods, said three times a week.
3 times a week.
Administer the treatment for 8 weeks. Of the 3 times, which time they do, how long do they do dynamic exercise, dynamics vibration, how long, how well, for replication purposes, right? So, but you need justification. I didn't see the justification in your discussion. Why should this response come out? Why should a passive exercise result to such? That's a question.
Let me expatiate on what Prof said, sir. You know, when we use the vibrator, it's just like massaging the body. So, because you talk about now, if you go for massage therapy, if you are being massaged, you take note that the person, the masseur, is the one that is burning calories, not you being massaged.
No, that's for massage. This is
Because the vibrator works on the same principle of massage. Prof.
Allow me. You can now respond. You are talking when you become competition.
So if the massage, the vibrator works on the same principle of a massage, what Prof is now telling us, how is that dynamism? What really happened that now brought out this result that you are now reporting to us? Because the vibrator is more static than being dynamic. I don't know if you get the point we are making.
Especially strength exercise.
Yes.
You know fully well
is by making use of the principle of overload that you gain strength. Vibration does not overload any part of the body. So where is it? Where is the literature that is supporting it? That's my doubt.
Just think. Any other comments? Okay.
I don't know. I was just thinking, is there any way to, it's more of asking questions now to get responses? Can we say that the outcome of this study was strictly based on the treatment given? Or can we say there are other external factors that have
Yes, to start, just like we've been doing a series of study on vibration exercise in my university, considered our research that we are actually going to explore. So that's why the process of vibration is a bit different from the massage, in the sense that in the massage, just like you said, the person receiving the massage is passive. But for whole body vibration exercise, there's movement, there's activity that is going on. And also because the vibration that whole body vibration exercise will give is never the same with what massage. When you stand, when you stand on the machine, there's vibration, except for the head. And the areas you want the muscle, and that is the contraction. There's a kind of mechanical vibration that contracts the muscle for over time. That's what we call the adaptation. That's why we tested for 8 weeks to see. We can also suggest, okay, let's improve it. Okay, it goes beyond 8 weeks. Most adaptation is that when it happens for over time, we discover that that's how we use 8 weeks. And this is the result we. And we have also proposed, there are some people that are working on 12 weeks, 15 weeks to see what's going to happen at that time too. But it is not a passive exercise. It involves movement and it involves the contraction and tension of the muscles, which can lead to adaptation. And that is the principle. That is the principle of whole body vibration. And that is what this research is exploring. That's potential of muscle contraction and mobilization can receive blood pressure. We check other health components, physical fitness, before we now moving a bit to this. So it's a series of studies that have been done on this, but it's open to criticism as correction, and all the observation has been noted. So just to make the work better and work on it.
Last question.
Last question. So yes, we try. I mean, the results, we cannot agree that the result is based on other experiments, except there is any evidence for that. What we have tried, that's why we have the control, and we have the data we used to try to use our control, apart from using to test and post-test, also combine with control. So I think we've been able to block, if not totally, effect of the extraneous emissions. We need to block it to some extent to see if we can, if our results, we can commit that our result is solely due to the effects of that. And that is why those who, for instance, the condition for inclusion is that the person must just have any musculoskeletal disorder, no medical history for the past 6 months. All these ones have been screened out already in our criteria for inclusion.
Wow.
That's why we use apparently, that's what the one that we can.
Wait, you people are talking like you will say this one was extra approval.
Yes.
You went for extra approval.
Yes.
Of your school of organization.
We look any law that involves using the students to
human subjects. Now, this machine that does whole body vibration, what is its name?
It's called whole body vibration machine. There are other different products. We have the American fitness, just like
That's what it is called. What are the target body parts does that whole body vibrator exercise musculoskeletal?
It's just like I said, it depends on the area.
It doesn't depend. You are dealing with a machine. If you are dealing with a a grip hand dynamometer, it grips is the power to grip. You understand me? If you are also using a whole body vibrator, it has target areas that is going to vibrate on.
That's what I said. It depends on the area.
Listen. You see, you are arguing with me. What you are to do is you are supposed to know what are the target areas, because we are at liberty to find out whether those areas are important in flexibility and in the measurement of strength of the whole body. And you are using a whole body vibrator, and we are asking, what is that name? Even in your description in this work, you have not shown us what that whole body vibrator is going to measure and where are those sites. Secondly, when you look through your work, why are you using covariance? Why do you use analysis of covariance? I'm taking you statistically. Why do you use analysis of covariance? Now, that leads us to what was the scale of measurement that you took when the whole body vibrator was exercising these very individuals?
To start with the first question, so we use analysis of covariance because we, in this study, we took the pre-test and post-test.
No, you are not answering my question. You see, there is an instrument that you are using. It's called a whole body vibrator. Forget about the 8 weeks. It is looking at this whole body vibrator and exercise on musculoskeletal fitness. You understand me? So, if I'm using, let's say, I'm using step aerobics, I cannot start talking about it. You know, I did pre-test and post-test. No. What is step aerobics? Then you describe what step aerobics is. And there are various sites. And then you select the ones that are right. You understand me? So what I'm trying to query you is that when you use a whole body vibrator exercise, you must be able to identify the target areas that this very instrument can work on. You understand? Then you now come to how then do I evaluate to be sure that it is strength, flexibility, and what is the value or the unit of measurement, which will go a long way to help me whether I'm going to use analysis of variance or analysis of covariance.
What did you do? How did you measure your muscular strength and flexibility?
Okay,
because those were target areas.
Okay, thank you. Just like going back to this, we said according to this paper, we mentioned the hip flexibility, and that is why we use sit and reach. And how do we do that on the whole body? We allow the subject to sit on the whole body vibration machine and stretching, leaning forward, making sure that the area of impact of that vibration is at the hip. That is for the flexibility. And before, and that's why we measured the flexibility before and after the exercise. In this part of the body, that's the hip, we measure it again. The previous before and after to see the change in the flexibility. Same thing goes to the strength. In the strength, what you target is the strength at the muscle of the bicep and the triceps. That is what you targeted, and that's why I said for the machine, that it is where you want it to, and that is the area of impact. That is where you feel the vibration. If you are on it, if I want it to, if I'm using it for my abdominal thing, if I'm standing, you feel the vibration around the stomach, so that okay, this is the area of impact. And that's the same thing. The machine is not for us just to vibrate the whole of the body. No, it depends on the area of the body that you actually targeting. And that's what I'm trying to explain, that we targeted some particular areas that we want this, and that is before we can complete that system.
I think your focus is on flexibility, not strength. My problem is with strength, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
My problem is with strength. All your description in the whole body vibration exercise is
mainly
on flexibility.
Yeah.
Dynamic stretch is flexibility. You stretch exercise to improve flexibility. Everything you have done here is flexibility. Why not put flexibility in the title? Forget this.
Remove
a muscular and complete. The paper is still a very standard book.
Yeah, but
and it's explainable, sir, that you can use vibration to improve flexibility. That is explainable, but strength, no. That is my suggestion.
yeah, it's a good suggestion, because it would help the work when you send it out for them to look at it, because maybe if you look at the details of the paper, I think it's not. But the essence is that you should concentrate on flexibility rather than strength, and not measure strength with one hand grip dynamometer, and then you tell us that no. It's preposterous. This is a young generation. So, thank you very much. Your literature back to me. Thank you very much. I wanted to make the comments. Abba. 2004. This is 2023.
One of the reasons.
Wait. 2007, 2003. Oh. Now tell us the story.
Before this work, we have actually done a review to see there's especially in Nigeria, there's a knowledge gap on whole body Nigeria exercise.
There are other works, there are many works on flexibility, sir.
Yeah.
No, yes, on whole body.
So both flexibility. Both flexibility for strength.
Taiwo,
Okay, sir.
tell your guy that we said you should look at that. Do you understand me? He's a professor. Look, we're trying to be mild, because if we descend on you as we do, I'm telling you, you will just be sweating here. I'm just telling you. Those of them that know me, they know who I am. I know you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, before you come back.
So that I will just rest, so that when you will come back again.
Hey, no, there's somebody.
This man presents.
Japan. Okay, Kawan GC is being invited to present his work on the place of physical and health education in public primary schools, holding on to the past or heading for a different future. You have the floor. Wow. Thank you. Your time starts now.
Thank you very much. The chairman and the I am Honourable GC presenting this paper titled The Place of Physical and Health Education in Public Primary Schools, holding study the past or heading for a different future. Physical education in Nigeria, although the history has it that it started very long that we know. Our traditions included physical education in the training of children. Therefore, in this paper we are going to see how that affects our introduction of physical education to the curriculum and how we can move this to give us a better future. In the colonial era of Nigeria, it was discovered that they came with their own method. They came with their religion to teach. And because they felt that physical education should be included, they just included the way they were teaching it, the way they saw people doing it, without formal organization. And that was how it was going. Around in the late 80s, early 90s, that the formal education in Nigeria started. Though it started with some military form of physical training. On Napher-Sd 2021 also identified that physical education has problems. The kind of physical education has problems and therefore needed to be restructured. And it was as a result of those things that physical education has beginning to gain its proper position in Nigeria. In the pre-colonial era, the greatest piece in the development of physical education and teacher preparation was set when the first university was established in 1960. That is the University of Nsukka. That was the beginning when they felt that the physical education in Nigeria should become a proper organized program. And it started with it went along with the development of the national policy of education, which saw the need for physical education to be included in the curriculum. And as the national policy of education continued to evolve until we have the recent one of the 2017 that is indicating the inclusion of physical education, physical health education in the curriculum, up to the primary, secondary, and the tertiary institutions. We can also see that physical education, going through all these programs, we still have a lot of problems in physical education. We have identified some of these problems, include the lack of qualified teachers to teach the physical and health education in the primary school. We have also identified that the awareness of physical education
say, but generally, there is no awareness. And as a result of that, people do not see the reason that their children should go and study physical education. And to some extent, today, when you go to any, either in the university, the college of education, or you go to the secondary school, you discover that very few of these students will want to study physical education as a course, or to take it as a career. In most of these, one of those basic factors include lack of facilities and equipment. Even the students want to engage, they don't have the facilities. How can they don't know what to do. They want to, that is why in the primary school in particular, when you go to see how they teach their physical education, the teachers bring the students out, allow them to start running. If they have a ball in the school, they throw the ball to the children and they go and start running after the ball. And there's nobody to guide them on how to do it. That is a basic problem also. And the NAPHA that we talk about, NAPHA that is supposed to do the guiding, the monitoring and whatever. In most cases, when we do our programs, we concentrate on those that are from the university, those in the colleges. In some cases, we include those in the secondary school, and mostly those in the primary school are not involved. They don't seem to be part of NAPHA at all. So it's a serious problem that has to be looked into. Therefore, I want to suggest that there should be increase in the awareness to the general public and to our students in the schools, right from the primary school, to know the need for physical education and what physical education is all about, so that they can take it for a profession. Because physical education in the primary school, when it is time for physical education, you discover that no child will be left in the classroom because everybody is interested. But because they lack the awareness what it becomes next, they abandon it later. So we want to increase the awareness. We want the curriculum to be diversified to include those areas that can impress the students. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you for that presentation. I guess you must have done a lot of research to come up with this. I just want to ask, before I do this open, I just want to ask you to, in one or two sentences, tell us the motivation for this your work. Why do you think, what made you to come up with this title and this work? So many. No, one or two sentences. No, so many. Just one or two out of the many.
See, if you go to our universities today, colleges of education, or those that in the secondary school, those that write SSC, if you look at the registered student that write the exams, you discover those for physical and health. Very few people registered for the course. In most cases, some people, when they seek for admission, and when they cannot get, they are advised to just go and join. So I felt that there should be
It is not that they want. No, you fail. Complete the sentence. Complete the sentence. Okay, lastly, it's just that they don't have the awareness and they don't know the importance of the physical and health education. In most cases, when they finally join, after first, second year, ask them whether they will want to change the course. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's hear from other. Okay, sorry. Audrey. Yes. Actually, I have to. Oh, see, yeah, listen. See, I have to. One is castle. See, now the one is castle. Yeah, listen. I'm not finished answering that one. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've seen just one email, just one phone number to about 2 authors. It's not supposed to be the correspondence at the back of the paper. Okay. Don't worry about this one. We'll handle it. No, we are learning. We need to point them out for people to know how to. When you come down to from the paper presented that are supposed to be together, all these statements. Then I looked at the abstract. I didn't see the elements of an abstract in it. Abstracts have certain elements. I want to give you the final one, which is supposed to have recommendation. An abstract without any recommendation. In fact, there is no recommendation in the paper anyway. So it's also reflecting what you have in the paper. Because I tried to look if you have recommendation. I didn't see. But again, there are other elements of an abstract. About 5 of them, which did not feature in the abstract. And I'm also convinced, although when I looked at our last publication, most of the abstracts are put on italics. But I'm very sure that the 6th and 7th edition of APA is straight on abstract. Then I looked at the references. Almost 90% are obsolete, right from the first page. So when I started seeing your references, I went to your reference, your final reference. I saw 1999, 1974, 1977. Are you following me? They are obsolete. A paper, the suggested standard is within the range of 10 years old. And so if you are looking at 11 years, 12 years, it can be accepted. But for you to bring into your paper, a paper of 30 years, I see some of them is when I was born. I see 1974, 1977, 2006, 1988. 99% of your references are obsolete, which is not good for a recent paper. Just my observation. Then lastly, I also looked at, yes, the last thing is that recommendation I said. So you needed to conclude well and do your recommendation, because if you do a paper without recommendation, it means you just adjourned without telling us the way to go. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Thank you very much for these observations. Things that you mentioned. I'm also wondering what is the magic in this paper. Because the first statement after that physical education at primary school is imagined as the art and science of human being. So what I'm wondering whether that statement is true. Whether that statement is true. Is that statement true that physical education at primary school is imagined? And somewhere again, we are saying that primary education is the foundation of education and all that. You said that physical education in primary school has been there for a very long time. So I think it's a contradiction which we will need to also look at. And it's pointed some things that we need to, conditions that we need to know. Honestly, I enjoy the historical aspect of it. But one would as well want to look at what actually we want to convey, which is the problem that is developing physical education in schools, and which align the problem. You mentioned who won 2006. You would have leveraged more to make further case that what we said in 2006 has not actually been met. You mentioned, you listed some of those increased awareness. To what extent have we been aware about the importance of physical education? Or to what extent have we diversified the curriculum and closer? So we would have leveraged more to now use modern, current literature to show that we have not met those standards. And that would have now provided the opportunity for you now to do the recommendation. What about recommending the way forward about going to work forward regarding to the teaching of physical education? How to do the case systematically, logically, in doing kind of doing an opinion paper. Opinion paper is definitely harder than, more difficult than
empirical.
Because you want to show why is this, why are you reviewing, that, which is like a issue. But generally, it's a good, it's a fair attempt, and you encourage to do more. I think some of us are taking notes. You wanted to say something? We are yet to. We have just about 1, 2, 3.
Why is not acceptance? There is no have a focus. We have not nailed one this. Then two, how do you want to become a bishop? How? Which decided to do this? How did you go about this? Then next one, in your abstract, it's not how I take abstract. We are not doing anyhow. You put the gas on this. There is one language we use, which is not ever used in research. You say, this paper is a snapshot. No. Research is a language. Use language yourself. Then there is no proper way of writing. Somebody have mentioned that on the outdated citation and all that. Some of your citation is not how to say it.
He has taken note. He is taking note. He's taking note, and we will. Why we are doing this is to allow us to learn, because this is an experience we are passing through. There's no point we are coming to conference and you don't take 1 or 2 things, and sometimes maybe you feel bad. The important thing is that it is an interaction that we are doing, and by doing that, others are also picking. I'm also learning. I'm going to make a presentation here, and I know that I'm going to be. So this is a profession. We don't have any profession. If you feel bad that we are discussing the way we are discussing, then that means you are not going to come back again. What we are saying is that we must have to say it, and we have a take home. We have a take home. Yeah, that's how we are learning. So I love that attitude. It's a good attitude. So yeah.
I want to make some observation regarding the topic first. The topic, I felt that even if the editorial will do their work,
Yes.
I think we will not know what they are doing.
Do you have a suggestion for the topic?
Yes.
Okay. Read it and let us say.
The place for physical and health education in public primary schools. Then we now put a column there, and then holding on to the past or heading for the different feature, and then there will be no full stop to whatever topic you are writing, whether in thesis,
And there should be no full stop
at the end of
any
on the end of any topic.
Yes.
Yes. And then the position of this initials. This seems to be in the reference list this time. You should have put the initial before the name.
Yes, exactly.
In writing papers.
Initial before
Yes, before the name.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And no paragraphing in abstract. You paragraph the abstract. Only block and then
It's okay. You wanted to say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As far as I know, essentially we want to emphasize it.
Abstract recommendation is not part of abstract. Abstract ends at conclusion. Because recommendation is not what you studied. It's actually what you are suggesting to be done. And so abstract should cover the study itself, not that's
That also comes with this idea of school of thought. There are schools of thought. There are some publishers that will tell you the pattern of how the abstract will go, including recommendation. There are ones that will say just do it just like that, and you say recommendations are made based on the findings, and that is
it will be fine.
It depends.
My suggestion is this: it will be fine.
It depends on the school of thought and maybe what our association, the communication committee, will decide.
I want to suggest that it should be fine if our association has a template that will guide.
I want to ask a question. Just one question. He has just presented, tell us, abstract. It's no, this one you're asking. Abstract is about the paperwork. And the man said conclusion, solve problems, I don't know, from the body of the work. So are we saying those ones should not be part of the abstract? Let's just think together.
If you listen to me, I think there are different schools of thought.
We are talking about thought.
Yeah, schools of thought, perspectives, and publishers. Some publishers will even tell you to give it subheadings, give your sub-abstract subheadings, okay? So there is no hard and fast rule about what it should be. Okay? It depends on the publisher, the publishing company. Now, our own association will determine how it's going to go. There are some that will say we want to see a sentence that will determine the conclusion of their work and maybe one or two recommendations. Some will say, based on the findings of this study, recommendations were made, and let's it at that. So when you get to the body of the work, you see the findings. So it is not what we are going to argue here, whether it's going to be there or not. That's the point I'm making. Yes. So finally,
I'll just add my few thoughts. Okay. Thank you, presenter. I would say that our correction should make the work better and to make the presenter comfortable. It's not easy to stand there. And then even to expose your work. So some people send their own, they did not come to come and present. What I would just say is this, like the work has historical perspective as the rationale. So definitely there must be reference to the past, the present, whatever is the present. One thing I just want is the fact that we stop at I think 2004 or 2006 English work. There are current, current published articles, okay, on what the trends of physical education is. Nigeria, Africa, and globally. So please, let's reflect on the work. The work is to put colonial era, post-colonial era, but the post-colonial era should not stop at 2006. Should stop at, even if you have shifted to 2022, it will have been very good. And then there is no recommendation in the work.
Okay, Raul, the way you are smiling, you are going to pay us, you are going to give us money for this, for stressing you, and for the way you are taking it. It's like you are going to, next time you are coming for a conference, it's going to be a better host. But you've done a great work. Please put your hands together for it. Next one is
assessment of the structure and financial standing of Nigerian Premier Football League clubs in competition of African football competition. So I give you 10 minutes to address.
Okay. Good afternoon, my prof, senior colleagues and colleagues. My topic is assessment of the structure and financial standing of Nigerian Premier Football League clubs in Confederation of African Football competition. Presented by Adewale Rufus Sunday, Physical Education Department, University of Jos, Dr. Emil Sani, Department of Human Kinetics and Health Education, Zaria, and Professor E.J. Chong, Department of Human Kinetics and Health Education, Honourable University, Zaria. Sorry, we are starting you, Prof. The purpose of the study was to assess the structural and financial standing of Nigerian Premier Football League in the Confederation of African Football competition. the record has not been good. Nigerian clubs have not been living up to expectations in CAF competition. In the past 10 years, no Nigerian club has played in the final of both the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup, and it is not good. It does not speak well of this country, because in this country, sport is a unifying factor, and people love sport. Instead of us giving attention to our sport, we are giving attention to foreign sport, and foreign sport is developing, and our own is dying. Expo's factor research design was used to carry out this research, and the sample size for this study was all NPM players, coaches, and management. Different sampling techniques were used. Stratified sampling technique was used to put the clubs according to their geopolitical zone. Purposive sampling techniques was used to pick 2 clubs each from each geopolitical zone, and simple random sampling technique was used to pick 20 players per club. A self-structure questionnaire was used to collect data for the study, and the instrument was an assessment using a Cronbach alpha reliability coefficient, and the result of it was 0.889. The descriptive statistic of frequency counts and percentage were used to analyze the biodata, mean and standard deviation. It was used to test the hypothesis at 0.05 alpha level of significance. The findings revealed that there is influence of structure of Nigerian Premier Football Leagues in Confederation of African Football Competition. There is also influence of financial standing of Nigerian Premier Football Clubs in Confederation of African Football Competition. The study, however, recommended that for the LMC to truly improve the performance of NPFL clubs in CAF competitions, they must improve the quality of the league. The quality of our league, the truth is that it's bad. So many things need to be done so that the league will become attractive. Apart from that, we should have a stable football calendar. In Europe, they know when they start and end the league. But in Nigeria, we don't know when we start league and we don't even know when we finish league. So we need a stable football calendar. Apart from that, the LMC and the NFL must work together to create an enabling environment, enabling business environment, and remove all impediments that inhibit deals with corporate banks. Thank you so much.
Premier Football League clubs in Confederation of African Football Competition.
Yes, sir. Okay, as the assessment of the structure and financial standing of Nigerian Premier Football League clubs in Confederation of African Football Competition.
We are trying to look at the structure of Africa.
No, structure of Nigerian Premier
Nigerian Premier League club structure go in line with what is practiced in African football. That's why we don't perform very well. They eliminate us in the first round. It's only Rivers United that were able to skate to the second round. Is there any question for me? No question.
However, sir, when you say assessment of the structure, what is the structure of ground?
The structure of the Nigerian league
on ground.
Okay, on ground.
Is it here? It's not here. So what then are you assessing? 2, when you look at all the pages, when you look at all the pages, is one page, one paragraph. Please be checking. And there's no paragraph there. The financial studies, what do you expect to do? What actually financial studies? What do you want to find out? What do you want to find out? Okay, what do you do to them? The management, coaches, are players. What do you do?
I administer questionnaires.
Look, please, let's look at the paper. What are the likely questions you ask when you say the influence of financial standing on the, what are the likely questions you ask?
Okay.
Because you see, what you find out, you are not saying to us on your page 9. On your page 9, you say summary of Mr. Wami's test on the influence of financial standing of Nigeria Premier before big clubs on the performance, on their performance, on the performance. What we would have loved to see here is that you bring their table for last year and then now relate it with what they say about their financial standing. There is nothing here to show that. Then we also need to know what are the items we are asking. Yes. And if you look at your title, what you are aiming at is whether their organizational structure and their financial status affect their performance on the league table. That's not what you are doing.
Yes.
Where is it on the title?
That's the record. I stated some.
The record. On his performance. There is nothing here that says something on performance here. You are looking towards some
past performance. That's Champions League at the okay, in the work.
In the title, you should capture it. That are using that to measure the performance of the team.
It's a good intention. But intention alone is not the paper must contain what can be. Somebody can have that esoteric statistics, you can say this, you can say that. You need to see the impact. You need to see the impact. And your reference to how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. How many are Jordan? Only 2 or 3. Only 2 or 3. I have not done anything. Don't let me say that. You are yet to do. This needs to be repeated. Is that guy you are talking about? Yeah? It's like that. But at least you know what to improve on, have you? I know you just added Professor John. You may not have seen this. Yes or no? Come through now. You just put his name there.
No, my thesis.
He didn't see his name.
No, this one.
That's where you give those of us professor problem. Somebody will just speak his mouth and say, look at what the professor has written. If he has seen it, before you bring it here, you will have made some correction. And these people will be better. In fact, they may not even know that they are here. Okay.
Prof, I've said everything.
I think to me, you can restructure this topic in line with your own. And this structure, see, in your introduction, you have about 5 pages of introduction in this work. You can streamline it so that you can input something like Prof has suggested, like the structure. You can still put it, embedded it inside this work. Remove some of the.
Just like what you said now. Look at the table, the final table for the previous year. Then what are those reasons? What is happening in other countries? They are leaving. What is happening now? Now, there are many things. Now, even in Africa now, we have dozens of people elected in South Africa. We have about 2 or 3 that are good. And nowadays, nobody can say there is, I can't buy literature. This is literature here. Just this thing, you can use it to achieve anything.
Two speakers mentioned all what is needed. In addition, just like we mentioned, you can just pick one variable and present a paper. You write a paper. But here you use 2. Okay? If you're concentrating on the structure, just like mentioned and suggested, just concentrate on the structure of Nigeria's Premier League. Okay? If you are talking of financial standing, just concentrate on that. Just bring out a paper. That's my take.
That the last person?
Yes, sir.
The next person?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Qualities of implementation or adaptation of psychological skills. I have it in Imo State. Presenting that. This one is not.
You should put it on that.
Umar, Badru. Socio-democratic factors associated with management of secondary schools, local government areas. I think it's not it. Next one, Dr. Adibola
Benga.
Please continue out. Advocacy for sports survivor. Suggesting that.
Ìwọ tí kò dúró de. O lè rí ni owó. Ìwọ. Ìbáyé tó fọ́ wọn tó bá lọ pàdé onípẹ̀lú wọ́n gbé mi.
You have a package.
All other protocols. We are two authors. I am is one naked which may say from the Department of Biophynetics and Health Education, and the second person is Dr. Isaac. The title of our presentation is Advocacy for School Sports Revival, Nigeria's surest path to successful and sustainable international sports performance. For the days we've spent in this conference, we've been talking about the sports industry and developing the nation at large, an indication that sports has the potential for all-round development, and also to tell us how very, very significant sports is to a nation. The sports industry is a big industry. It's a multi-billion industry, and there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of things attached to this industry. And as such, it is because of the competitive nature of this industry, there are so many things that needs to be considered if one should be able to beat the podium, especially when it comes to international sports. For instance, there are paths to high performance sports, and those paths are scientific in nature. It's a case of input and throughput processes, meaning you have to put in something and follow up what you have put in order to achieve success in international sports. It doesn't happen by chance. Empirical studies have revealed that there are two major socio-economic variables or ingredients for international success in sports. These are population and wealth. And it is expected that with these two major ingredients, with our youthful population, we should be on program for international sports. But records does not show this. If, for instance, we look at Jamaica with their population, because I did a comparison of these two functions of these two nations. For instance, in terms of population, Nigeria is over 200 million. Jamaica is just about 2 million. In terms of GDP, Nigeria has about $2,000 plus, while Jamaica has about $6,000 plus. World ranking by population, Nigeria is 6th, Jamaica is 135. Sports contribution to GDP, Nigeria is 0.005. Jamaica, with their tiny population, is 2%. We talk about medals won so far. In over 60 years of experience of Nigeria in the Olympics, we have only won 27 medals. And out of the 27, we just have 3 gold medals. Jamaica has won 87. And out of 87, they have about 26 gold medals. And then Army Sports rank, with their tiny population, they rank 57th, while Nigeria is ranking 70th. An indication that while Nigeria is bragging to be the giant of Africa, Jamaica, as tiny as that nation is the world cup when it comes to athletics. They are leading. They are doing better than Nigeria. And the question is, countries on the vanguard of sports medicine, what have they done? What are they doing that is putting them on that stage? those who have this population, like we have, what have they been doing? So research has been carried out, and it has resulted in homogeneous sports models, different models that they have adopted in their countries in order to be at the right place in international sports. 2 models out of all of this were removed in this study, and then using the water diamond theory, a suggestion was given concerning the model that we can use in Nigeria. For instance, the 2 models we're talking about is a space, the sports policy factors leading to international sports success, developed by the Bucha. And then we have the other one, the global international, the ideal model global international high performance sports model for mass participation as well. For the space, this model was tested. This result from a PhD thesis by his name is Honourable indicated that the pillars is a 9-pillar model. For sake of time, I won't want to go into the details of it. But it's a 9-pillar model because in analyzing this model, in analyzing the status of elite sports in Nigeria, that research was carried out using splits as an instrument to look at what we have in Nigeria, if we have what we ought to have in place. For result from this finding indicated that we have a weak structure in Nigeria. The NSF is weak, and as such is related to the country, because the structure is, the model is about the input which the researcher used as the structure, and then the processes involved. So because we don't have a structure, or the structure is too weak, it cannot promote elite sports in Nigeria. And these models we are talking about are scientific in nature. So if we must go through this part, it is so complex and multi-layered. When we go to the second model too, and another research too has also been carried out, and suggestions and recommendations were given as to how Nigeria can be exercised from this poor performance using that space as a barometer. Then the second model too, tested same also from that model, and also an indication that we have looked at these 2 models, they are competitive, and the nature of Nigeria is from the research of the studies. There is this insincerity of focus on the part of the research. And then because of all these challenges we are having, we cannot adopt this model. However, there is another model which authors here consider as the low-hanging fruit, and that is the sports pyramid model. And the reason for this is that we have, if we look at sports in Nigeria, we don't even want to go into the area of professionalism, because the people in the head of affairs are not even in our field. But we can call on Napher. In fact, this paper calls on this body to consider school sports, because what? School sports is about mass participation, recreational. By the time these children start with this interest, before we even start aiming at elite performance, let's look at the school sports. Let there be this advocacy for school sports. If we stick to the school sports system, then we can. Because even the countries on the back end of social excellence, for instance, Usain Bolt, whose record has been there for a very long time, was sorted through school sports. In the United States of America, the country that is always on the podium, #1, is through school sports. And if we are comparing the presidential system of government in Nigeria, why don't we look at also their sports system in order to make ourselves their positive? So the recommendation in this paper is just one. And that recommendation is that Napher-Sd is the best suited professional body to champion the actualization of the revival of school sports in Nigeria, and the time to start the advocacy is now. Flowing from the fact that the minimum number of years to train an athlete is 6, so we need to start working now. It is therefore suggested that a committee of eminent members of this body, with a well-mixed representation of sub-disciplines of the body, is commissioned here and now, and their terms of references well spelled out if we want to give them what to do in school sports or in international schools. Thank you.
our postgraduates, when we make observation and correction, it's not that we are ruining the paper. What we are doing is to make the work to be better. Look at your title. You said advocacy. You know, you are just giving us the paper. Point to the area where you dealt with the subject of advocacy. Where you treated advocacy as a concept. Point to the page. Don't worry. I said point to the page. It's not there. Or noted. Don't argue. Two. Let's start round up. Tell us historical background of school sports in Nigeria. And the current activities of Nigerian school sports. Do you know the president of Nigerian school sports? Do you know where the office is located? So you are writing on this.
And there is NSSF.
So you see, if you see the problem is located in National Stadium. At Zaria Conference, the lady was there presenting the paper. I'm looking, only God save you. If the lady has been here, it will be very annoying.
I was even the rapporteur of that paper presented online.
So those are the things you don't come and write. What are the antecedents? What are those things? For example, for more than 10 years now, they have been organizing Milo basketball. There have been activities. They have been helping Nigeria. You know? They came back, and I've forgotten the country within the last 2 or 3 months. So there is a lot school sport has gone in Nigeria. Very, very active. The problem is finance. If you send this paper now, if you just say you want to test it at Napher-Sd, and if it misses us commenting, if you send it to those who know that they met them, they say you don't know what they are saying. You know, first of all, say you are not familiar with your country. So the major thing is more sponsor and more finance for the school sport. Thank you.
Summary is there, recommendation is there. How about conclusion?
Change the summary. Hello?
Summary is conclusion.
What's the name of that place from now? We are covered with people from Lagos State. And then they are secondary. You know our secondary consultants. Just give me now. I'll tell you.
Let me use your opportunity to raise your attention. And myself, Professor Dominic, and Professor Honourable, it should be 80. It is 2024, but to be out next month by God's grace. It's very, very comprehensive, dealing with 33 chapters, looking at CBC's maths and all others. So I'm not saying costly. It cannot cost less than 10,000, but it's worth it for everybody. Because the production cost itself is around 8.5. So it's very rich. Curriculum, methods, materials. Any course you want to teach in this field, you will find it.
So that institutions can even have.
You don't know him?
No, I mean contact.
Do you know him? Do you know him? You know him? That's our Major Oko from Nigeria Army. You always be seeing him on the page of he read law and he had PhD in physical education and PhD in law. So he's in the Nigeria Army.
Yes, I just recently posted.
Maybe you are the one for it.
Yes.
About 200.
That's the guy. So, okay, yeah. Okay, somebody wants before you start. Okay, sorry. Since you are raising my issue.
Yeah, please, my little concern is the topic. Advocacy for schools cost revival. I'm trying to locate it because you did mention about structure. Is it participation in school sports? That is national or state or local government based? Or is it bringing school sports down to schools? Schools participation, both in sporting activities. Then, or is it participating in traditional school sports?
The answer to that, you see, Oga had already raised that issue. Where she tried to miss the role was that she was talking about school sports. So, I was the secretary to School Sports Federation, if a zone. We are having local government and before local government. That was when Professor Doctor was the president of the. Before after his death, it went moribund. So that was the period supposed to have brought up this idea. But now they have come back with the new presidency has taken so many steps. As Oga said, they have traveled for so many programs. Yes, now. So it's not this advocacy is not for this reason. Because already they are already working. They are on course. So maybe the issue is we cannot go to the way of bringing them down to let everything come from the local level. Yes. That's yes.
The one we are talking about.
Most of the programs that they do, like I was surprised, at least I've been there to give prizes to women, and I will see school from Bayelsa, I will see school from Lagos, I will see school from Ibadan, I will see schools from there, even the one from King's College is the money a hidden place. So that means they are touching the grassroots. But you see, they may not do enough because of funding. That is it. So your paper is not an advocacy. It's something that you will say, I don't know the appropriate word to use. Revigorating, strengthening school sports in Nigeria.
Through grassroots participation.
And you will also mention those, you can also mention those that through school sports have been uplifted. Like all these soccer players, I know many, some in Ibadan that is the school sport.
That brought them out.
All these canoe, school sports.
They were true school sports.
So you will get information.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, I don't think you can continue. Apart from the contributions raised by professors, like you rightly said, there are some points you made concerning your presentations. You used the word strengthening, but I can see you wrote revival. I think I'm in agreement with that revival. I'm coming from Napher-Sd, where I've been able to be working with about 5 secondary schools. And I can be able to say that there is nothing like sports in those schools. I don't know what happened to them up to now, because for the past 10 years, I've not seen anything done in Southeast. So that using the word revival is, to me, appropriate.
In Southeast.
Southeast. Okay, let me say in Southeast.
Conference. Cannot generalize to what is happening in Nigeria. We have to have a spirit of give and take. For example, now I can't take a conference to Southeast with what is happening.
In fact, the last one we had there, because it was God that intervened. Those people that even left from Asaba, and those people that came from Delta, when they wanted to enter there, they had problem.
We saw people that
in 2022. We saw
and you said people will come
from this Delta. Just so we enter.
Okay, let me just
come to Anambra.
What you
before you say that, some very good information. Like Prof said, the school sports. You know, I use the word doing a lot. Doing a lot. See, if you go to their headquarters, like Prof said, in Lagos, and some other competitions they are doing around, you will see that they are doing a lot, because getting sponsorship for some of these programs is very difficult, and for them to still be able to get some people like Milo, like this, you will see them on channels do something. Yes, sir.
When was the last time you had
Hello, as we are speaking today. Hello, as we are speaking by Delta State. School sport in another variation, area play is going on.
National
yes,
I know.
It's
a different body. Are they working together? Are they working together?
Use games.
NYG is
you see, when we come to conference,
some of them
we must have we must have an attitude of looking from what another person is saying. If we are determined to stick to where we think our conference is, then people will just be looking at you. You are saying what you say, you are saying all those ones, they are under 15.
And they are taken from schools. Those people that came from Ekiti, I know they brought them from schools.
Another variant. That is another variant. If you are expecting, let me tell you, they travel outside the country. No money was invested in them. They are always traveling. Now, even the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and Ministry of Sports, don't have even money. So if you don't have money, what can you do?
They are not functioning now.
No, you are not listening. People are not
functioning.
People are not listening. Hello. People are not listening. Is it when you want to do conference? Have we not done conference here this year? When you look at the past 2 conferences, this is how we have organized. No, because there's problem of funds. But we at least try to organize something. So if you are now saying, if you are saying there is nothing on ground, you are deceiving yourself. Because the person that is working knows that it's working. We didn't have a journal last year. We had journal this year. Is that not improvement? If the journal is not good, will you not use? We don't know that say at least you have something to scale it up. You see, it is because people are not involved. If you are involved at various of these things, you will know that my people will say the head is sweating, but the feather has not allowed you to see the sweat.
Oga, I think the area they are coming in is the issue of this. You know, during that period I was talking about, when I was the zonal secretary, 1985 to year 2004, we were attacked by the government of the state. It was a quite different issue because we had sponsors then. Shell was sponsoring it. We had to start from the grassroots. So when we have it that way, it's quite different from now. We just send to, at times the information might come late. We just rush to schools and ask them, feed some, and send them to the central because they don't have sponsors.
Before you can,
Prof,
don't generalize.
your time is almost.
You can only talk about your own.
Where's the party?
She's talking about
hey, stop mentioning my name.
Your time is also up.
For where?
We are giving till 1:30, please. I'm giving you extra 10 minutes. So let me give you another 5 minutes now. Please. I am giving extra 10 minutes. I'm giving you 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, check me.
This your power is too much. You have that power.
I don't know, I'm just saying. But that's not so much close. National.
Just Google it and see what
Okay, let us listen to you.
The activities don't go down. You see, when we are considering age group, and then we finally conclude that they are all school children, we may be faulty. We may be at fault. Now, look at the current youth games going on. When we consider their ages, we say they are under 15. Who are the organizers? Who organized this? Is it the school sports federation that organized this current competition going on?
No.
So we not conclude that all of them are from schools. If it is schools on they will go under schools. Yes. Even if they are students of secondary school. So that's what I want to differentiate now for us to understand. I not just conclude that all of them
no, you see,
information.
Let's listen to Prof. You see, how we are looking at it depends on each institution and our schools of thought. There are things that are multi-factorial. Just as I said, when you see school sports, there is no way these things cannot come under. When you go and read about history of school sports, you will hear all these principals call, all these things there, all those are the things that emanate.
Academic house.
Now, when you say school sport and other history things are there, it will not be school sports. Because school sports and what they are doing here, they are what? They are grassroots sports. Why that of grassroots we have the one in the school, and then we have out of school children or youth people. So when we say this, we are looking at it holistically. And we meeting the needs. Even overdose, even when we say we are not doing, how many people graduate physical education wants to teach physical education when they go to school? Hello? How many? It's not where the project was. They will say, I can teach biology.
No school don't even have.
So if somebody is trying a little, you make that possible to say but you can still do it better. Look at the language I use. When I said somebody, maybe this man, then I quickly withdraw. Have you? Yes. That is damage. To sit down and write. So when you come here, your horizon expands. So that there is no, and you see, saying that because you don't find it in your area or in my own something, what am I even doing as a person? What am I doing? Because it's your state that must first of all start it. It is not, what you are talking about is Nigeria. What is the contribution of your state? If they have talent, national will know them. You know, like I told you, the various competitions they have done because I'm a Lagos faculty, they always invite me to come and eat. And I told you across all that by I've forgotten the one in the east. And you see, look at this place, look at this college where you are. Are you happy with what you see? Look at wishes. You see the principal that they are the photos that they give me. So there are certain things that you call me, Abi, you are talking to me about an issue. If you are not boarding, will you call me? But if we are going back now, we know about school sport. Those of us who are here, we start, let's revive somewhere. You start from somewhere. It's not that you don't know that anyone exists. It's what the Nigerian project is what are you about? You want to sit down somewhere and say somebody is not seeing you, and the environment is not friendly. Others will happen. You will just continue to you cannot be complaining of leadership if the success are not contributing to it. Nigerians are not be saying something about Africa. If you want to be leader and you are not doing anything, that's why you will see Nigeria will be giving money for everyone and whatever, and will be suffering there because they don't do that. Somebody will say, and there are something also they will get because from UN. So we have to we are academics. We should think beyond all these petty sessional things. We should be beyond that because we are the leaders in this country. Now it's what to contribute that people will give to you. If you don't contribute, they will see you.
Prof, you have just said it. Sponsorship is the problem. Like the problem in Nigerian Wrestling Federation. For over 2-3 decades, we have only one international referee. Until last year, I traveled to Egypt to do the international with one other referee from the Yoruba, the two of us. Just this year, I went to Madagascar. Just one competition alone have covered my expenses.
So let me give you an example. NLF president came to NIS. He said he wants to work. It's something he said that he wants to train his coaches. He came and he wants NIS to train. He thought that we do it free of charge. We ourselves, we don't receive anything from government. I just, even the money we generate, government say bring 100%. Because there's no money. Somebody is coming. I said, you know what? Go to this place, go to this place, go to this place. Nobody will have soccer in the country and not sponsor. Now, as I sat down, I was just sharing things with them now. There are many things I'm doing with my phone. Now, we have somebody now to provide this. We now have somebody now to provide where they will accommodate in the region. When people see it, it is thinking of people. What I found out is that why many people are not able is because what is killing sport in Nigeria is what people want to gain out of it. That's it. They don't want to live, but they want to cheer. Even when that money comes, you will see that it is out of corner half of it. Some people will not looking for. So many people think that when we are doing competition, there's a lot of money. Where is my share? Where is my share? Without knowing, if you don't build, even if you are looking for share, you can't share. Build first before you share.
Sir, let me tell you something. See, information is power. At times, we wait for information to come to us. we don't look out for the information, we don't seek the information, we don't search for information. Like you are saying, be online, search what they are doing. You will see contact number of the who to contact. Ask questions, and they will invite you. Thank God you are in this conference. We have so many people that have the same mindset of what you raise. Where are they? You are privileged. When Prof is speaking, get his number. He is Director General of NIS. Get his number. Get information. Before you know, you are linked with the direct person. Before you know, they will tell you what you are going to do on your own local before you invite them. Before you know, you activate the thing from here. And before you know over there. Then you are out of the people that will be saying there's nothing.
Let me give you one politician came. All these parties have money. This is what I thought I should say. You know, I thought that money doesn't.
If you don't stop now, I will start to sing. And I lost all.
Thank you so much. We are privileged.
I will sing different type of song. Prof, you want to scatter? You don't want. Please, let's round up. Thank you. Prof, not fast. We don't pass you already. No, I'll give you 5. No. Thank you. Please round up the session.
So we thank you all for coming and
don't